Hey there, happy Wednesday. It's Lee from Positive Constructs and Code 9 Project. Today's topic is frustration. I can guarantee that every single one of you listening today in the last 24 hours has experienced some degree of frustration, which is a mild form of our natural emotion, anger. Frustration is a natural part of being a human being. Our expectations aren't met. We get frustrated. Our expectations of others, of self, of the environment, the weather, right? Oh, it's raining, and our expectation was that we wanted it to be a nice day. What happens? We get slightly frustrated, right? This is just the natural part of being a human being. What's important to understand is if we're not managing our levels of frustration, that internal tension that occurs becomes our new habit. And so a stressed state or a tense state, as I like to call it, a live wire, perpetuates. And then what happens? Then you start to lose your cool over inconsequential things, right? You might blow up at a very minor situation and be shocked, like, how did that happen? Well, welcome to mismanagement of continuous frustration. This is one of the causes of such a thing. So learning how to manage frustration effectively is very, very important. And it is a key way to stay as balanced as possible, right? For better outcomes in your life. So, step one, identify when you're frustrated, right? Our automatic response when we are angry in any way, shape, or form, frustrated, really upset, raging, is to blame. We identify, but then we want to blame the source. I'm frustrated because the weather, because the person in front of me is driving slow, because my partner didn't do what I wanted them to do, right? So when our expectations aren't met, what typically happens? A level or a state of frustration, right? So instead of step two being blaming the outside circumstances, a better option is to ask yourself, as soon as you identify that you're frustrated, what do you want to do about it? How do I want to handle this? This is a very good question to ask yourself, and it's also a challenging question because many of us are very self-satisfied with our anger and frustration, right? So we want to avoid that. But the best step is to ask yourself, what do you want to do about it? And hopefully the answer is, I want to pass through it as quickly as possible to feel better and have a better day. Okay? So that's a great answer. I want to pass through it as quickly as possible. So step two is, what do I want to do about my frustration? And step three is, how can I pass through it as quickly as possible? I can breathe. I can focus on something else. I can laugh. I can laugh at the natural human response of frustration. Oh, there I go again. My expectations weren't met and I'm irritated. My expectations of this guy in front of me driving at my speed limit instead of his, right, is not being met. And so I am frustrated, right? Laughing and not taking yourself too seriously at the minor things is so helpful in releasing the response of frustration, so that when big things that truly deserve your anger, your frustration, when they come, you have better coping mechanisms to handle them. On that note, I hope you have a frustration-free day. It's not really likely, but practice these tips. They only work if you practice them. Have a great day. Please reach out if you are struggling with your conflict, with frustration, anger, or if you have any questions. Have a blessed day, and I will see you next Wednesday.